how this can be applied. Look at this, it said evaluate tangent of 47 pi over what? Of course, I know the reference angle is pi over what? But I don't wanna keep going around the unit circle 47 times until to do 47 pi over what? But I do know that 47, that the tangent can be cut by multiple of pi, right? So look what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna write this tangent of 45 pi plus 2 pi over what?
Over 3.
Why did I do that?
Because you can the height out of it.
So this will be tangent. Now I gotta do 2 pi over 3 plus, what's 45 pi over 3? 15 what? Now, how does that benefit me? So this is a multiple of what? So that's the same as tangent of what? 2 pi over what? Over what? Actually, also, this is, the tangent of 2 pi over 3 is easy to what's a pi over 3? A pi over 3 in terms of sine and cosine, remember the pi over 3 longer in the y what direction. So it's half and square root of 3 over 2. And the tangent is sine over cosine. So it's just square root of what? 3, right? So what is the tangent of 2 pi over 3? But the tangent of 2 pi over 3, in the tangent in the second quadrant, is that negative or positive? Oh, skewed, right? No, negative, right? So actually, all skewed, right? So first of all, where is 2 pi over 3? Which quadrant? Second quadrant, right? So in the second quadrant, notice that sine is positive and cosine is negative, right? So that would be negative square root of what? Negative square root of what? But I benefited from the fact that tangent and cotangent has a period of pi, which means they repeat multiple of pi. They can skip by pi or multiples of pi. What about cosine, sine, secant, cosecant? They skip multiple of 2 what? 2 pi. So let's say this one, cosine 19 pi over what? 19 pi over 6. So how can I do that? How can I make this even smaller? I don't know, maybe write cosine of what?
19 pi.
I need a multiple of 2 pi. What's a closer thing that's a multiple of 2 pi?
18.
But 18 pi over 6. 18 over 6 is 3, right? That's not. So 12, right?
Yes.
So I could just do this. Cosine of 12 pi over 6 plus what? Plus what? 12 plus what will give you 7. Pi over what?
6.
Right. So now this is going to give you cosine of 2 pi, right?
Yes.
Plus 7 pi over what?
6.
Right. But the 2 pi is gone, right?
Yes. So you got cosine
That's just cosine of 7 pi over what?
6.
Where is 7 pi over 6? Again, the pi over 6 is, the pi over 6 only is square root of 3 over 2 and 1/2. But the 7 pi over 6 is which quadrant? Quadrant 3? So in quadrant 3, what is cosine? You think negative. So this will be negative square root of 3 over what? 7 pi over 6 is in quadrant what?
3.
So cosine of 7 pi over 6 is what? Less than what? Less than what? You don't be shy when you're trying to explain, okay? Write it down. that okay? Try the next one on your own first. See what you can do. It's not that difficult. It looks intimidating, but you shouldn't be intimidated by this. You're like, I am intimidated. I'm very intimidating. I'm intimidated like a motherfucker. That's what you're thinking about, right? I'm very what? Well, you shouldn't. Just take it one step at a time. So, can you tell us the first step? Yeah, I can tell you the first step. First step is to find secant or sine of 31 pi over what? 4, right? And then after that, maybe we find cotangent of what? 1 or 3 pi over what? 4. And then after that, maybe we find secant of what?
6 pi.
And then after that, maybe we do the substitution, right?
Yes.
Well, let's try it. Okay? Okay, how are we going to do it? First you're thinking of making an angle much smaller, right? If you can. So, remember I need multiple of 2 pi, right?
Yes.
So what about this? How do I do that? What's the closest? 4 times what will give you something, multiple of 2 pi. So, for example, you can try. But again, 28 over 4 is what? 7. That's not good for you.
Oh, right.
You need a multiple of 2 what?
2
So what's the angle you should be thinking about? What's the value?
24.
24. Because 24 over 4 is what?
6.
That's a multiple of 2 what?
2 pi.
So this will be sine of, you can think of it this way now. 24 pi over what?
4.
Plus what? What's left from 24? 7 pi over what?
7 pi over 4.
Over 4. This will be equal to sine
6.
of 6 what?
5.
Plus
7 pi.
7 pi over what?
4.
Is 6 pi a multiple of 2 pi?
Yes.
Yes. So this is really just sine
7 pi over 4.
of 7 pi over what?
4.
Where is 7 pi over 4? It's in quadrant 4.
Yes.
In quadrant 4, the sign is negative,
Yes.
right? So what's my answer here? Negative square root of 2 over what?
2.
I think the more we do trigonometry, the more this reality is going to slap the shit out of you. What's that reality? That the unit circle should be your first, middle, and last name. All the time, you see, it's right in front of you. Okay. So cotangent. No, I think with that, dealing with cotangent, it may be a little bit easy because we only need multiple of 5, right?
Yes.
So what can we do a multiple of 5? Cotangent of what?
5.
Cotangent of what? I think we can choose 100, right?
Yeah.
Let's start with this. I think, let's say 100 pi over what? 4 plus what?
3.
Pi over what? 4. But this will be cotangent of, what is 100 of pi over 4? 25 what? 5. Somebody might be telling me this is not a multiple of 2 pi. And my answer will be, doesn't need to be, because that's cotangent. Now, I promise you that down the road, I will explain to you why when it came to tangent and cotangent, we looked further and we found a shorter what? Interval. Because that's a good question. Why couldn't we just stick with 2 pi? 2 pi is not the shortest. Period is the shortest positive interval of repetition. Let's say you have a graph that repeats itself over the interval 1 through 8. Well, that's fine. But the question is that the shortest repetition? What I mean is like this. Imagine you have a graph that went like that. This is my graph. And I have 2 values. Let's say A, B, and C. And I found out that my graph is like this. And then it clearly, it repeats, for example, and then I have D here, and then E. You understand what? Let's say it repeats itself from A to C, right? And then from C to what? E. But notice that's not the shortest interval of repetition. The shortest interval of repetition is from A to what? E. So this should be considered as your what? Period. Because really, what's the other part? It's just a repetition of the first one. And you'll see this for tangent and what? We're not gonna just let this one go. No, we're gonna repeat. So this is just cotangent of 3 pi over what? 4. We understand when it comes to tangent and cotangent, the answer should be just 1 or negative 1. Where is 3 pi over 4? Which quadrant is that? Quadrant 2, right? In quadrant 2, the cotangent is negative. Because it's one of them is negative. So this will be just negative what? Negative what? Last but not least, I need the secant of 6 what?
6 pi.
But this just means secant of 0, right? Pi. But what does that mean, secant of 0 pi? Secant is a reciprocal, right? 1 over cosine of 0, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what's the cosine of 0? I think it's 1, right?
Yeah.
Which is just what? I think right now it's time to do my substitution. My word. So for the first one is negative square root of 2 over 2. And then for the cotangent